Good day, viewers. Today we'll be discussing on reasons why young students fail mathematics. Over time, we've just discovered that most students fail mathematics, and most times when you ask them their reasons, most of them talk about phobia, most of them talk about lack of understanding, and many other things. Over time, as a tutor, I've just discovered some striking reasons why young students fail mathematics. So I'm going to list them today and talk about them. One of them is phobia, fear. Some of them already have knowledge that mathematics is difficult. Some of these phobias are caused from the teachers, which are the tutors. Some of them, they want to kind of praise the subject, also to a kind of praise themselves, or put it the other way around, just want to create a striking environment for the subject. Most times when we are talking about all these things, how difficult it is, how stressful, how you have to work extra hard and the rest, it creates some fear in these students. Just like I usually tell students that mathematics is the simplest subject, though it demands hard work. You need to work on yourself and also work on series of tests, assessments, exercises in order to meet up with with your good grades and the rest. So apart from all these things, you need to create that environment, that enabling environment for the students by making them understand that mathematics is very simple. And not just that it's simple, you also, as a tutor, you will kind of explain things, most especially mathematics exercises and workings, in such a way that it will be very easy for this student. By starting from the simple examples, compound to complex, very, very important. And also preparing yourself to have wrapped knowledge, that is, have deep, in-depth knowledge of what you're about to teach, so that you can be able to answer or attempt all their questions and make things more clear to these young students. So the next one is a lack of preparation from these students. Most time depend on some of the school schedule and the rest, and there's some attitudes of students towards learning mathematics, and also some schools curriculums and the timetable on how they take on how they treat mathematics courses in their different institutions. Mathematics as a course demands time. It's not the type of time you're allowed to social study, as example, civic education, even English, that you're allowed to mathematics. Mathematics demands more time. I find out that our curriculum today, we have inculcated in our curriculum different courses. Unlike then, where a child that's in school just go for highest five courses: English, Maths, General Studies, which other General Studies, Igbo, one or two languages, and one religious course like that. But nowadays, the reverse is the case. Found out that many courses is now added to the curriculum. But you see some UB1 students, UB2 students, some of them do nothing less than 17 courses. I found out at this time schedule affects mathematics because all these other courses has to be treated and they have to be done with time. So it lessens the time meant for mathematics. And most times in different schools, they don't have enough time for mathematics again. And this affects the students. So it's a very big problem and it should be taken care of. In my next video, I will talk about some of the solutions. So today, I'm just pointing out the reasons. The next one is short time. Just like I said, this short time affects students. Very, very important. Apart from their attitudes and lack of preparation due to time, the most important thing is the shortness of time. Most especially, you find out that first term students don't normally do very well. The short term mostly starts from around September, October, November, December. Find out it's a period of say November, December, October, November, December, depending on when they start the term. Most times it's ending of September, sometime some 2 weeks or third week of September. So depend you find out that the remaining weeks the student use it to acclimatize to the new term, and it's always a fresh term. The other couple to the other 2 months, which is October, November, and December. December school always vacates say first or second week to before they prepare for or go home for break, Christmas break. Find out that that first time is always short. It affects the academic calendar, most especially affecting mathematics, because you find out that the weeks for lesson is minimized, which affects their first term scheme of work in mathematics. So most students always fail in first term when compared to second term and third term or trimester. So the next one is extra tests. Extra tests. Whether some students don't engage in extra tests and extra lessons. Very, very important. Any student who aspires to be a good student in mathematics must always engage in extra classes and extra tests. Always pick up exercises, try and solve it on your own. Give it to people that know more than you, even your teacher, your sibling, anyone there. Always be in our exercises, always touch different exercises, especially from different topics you've taught in school. Always try to solve one or two things. Very, very important. Everyday mathematics. Mathematics is not something they teach you today, you just relax, you're just waiting for a better grade during exam or during test. No, you always solve, because there are always many ways questions can be thrown to you, and there are always many ways you can answer questions. There are always many things in mathematics, so it's something you should always be on. You should always lay your fingers on it. You should always try to solve problems, always. But if I find out that, and also engage in lessons, more lessons, because your school lessons are not enough. You should have more at your own leisure time. Use more. That means that is the point where like I said earlier, it demands hard work for you to do well in mathematics. Very important. So the other one is the knowledge of mathematics. Knowledge. The knowledge. Most times students complain that the reason why they fail mathematics is always from the tutor, the mathematics tutor. You find out that sometimes all these mathematics tutor, not just all, some of them may be too fast, maybe they are too intelligent, they push things very fast. Yes, because most of them are always intelligent. Yes, it's true. They push things very fast, and even within themselves, they don't even know that the way they are putting things or the way they are placing things, that those students that are throwing those things to don't understand it. Yes, they don't understand it. They'll be like, you're supposed to understand it, you're supposed to know this, do this, do that, do that. This thing affects students. Every good tutor should bear in mind that most of these students, you should assume they don't know it. If possible, go to the bottom of the lesson, know how to start from scratch. If you really want to give the in-depth, give the students the best, know how to use different teaching strategy, different skills, different idea, different ways, different style, just to make sure you bring this topic home to the students the way they will do what, appreciate it, the way they will understand it. That is what matters. Very, very important. So the way a teacher prepares his lesson, teaches, the style he use, how fast it is while teaching, and other things affects the way the students take a kind of assimilate this knowledge in mathematics. Very, very important. So if a teacher can teach very well, if a teacher can also have the in-depth knowledge of every topic, know how to bring it down, break it down in such a way students will understand, it will go a long way in making these students understand and pass mathematics very well. The next one is a series of assignments and the assessment. Many students or many tutors or many class teachers, whichever one, they don't always engage these students in series of tests. Like I've just overheard from one of them, was like, he doesn't have time. It's a workload, because the truth is not just about giving assessment or test, it's about marking it, doing those corrections, and also setting another question again for this student. It's tasking, and that is even where the bulk of the work is. Always throw questions to the student, not just throwing questions to them. Mark it. After marking it, correct them and try and give them another question. That is where the bulk of the work is. Find out that if your students engage in series of assessment tests, multiple tests, it makes the students to gain this knowledge. Yes, because you find out that you may be teaching, or why you are teaching, because of your teaching, you ask questions, through questions, the answer, you think they are engaged, you think they have the knowledge, you think they're understanding what you're doing. You only assess or have a kind of a clearer knowledge or assessment of your students when you give them class works, or when you give them one-on-one assessment. You find out that some of them can't raise their pen to write anything, and that is when it's done on you that they don't get it. And if you can correct them, if you can direct them on what to do, that is when the memory opens up for knowledge, and that is how they can get this knowledge. Series of them will make them know more, understand more, or and also throw more questions to you. When your students throw more questions to you, always asking for, that is an evidence that they are getting something and they're understanding something, and they will start appreciating the subject, and that is how they will even love you and love the subject. The truth is that mathematics is very simple. It depends on the way we push things to these students and how we assess them. Very, very important. So in my next video, I'll be I'll be talking on the solutions to to mathematics failure, high rate of mathematics failure in our secondary school students. Thank you very much.